What is something that rich people do that really annoys you? My rich friend orders 20 things from McDonald's and eats 2 of them. Throws the rest away. I'm not exaggerating. She is infinitely kind and generous, but that kind of waste makes me shake my head. A friend of mine spent most of his life poor but finally had his big break and got hired on as a substance abuse psychologist for this big-name inpatient rehab center that celebrities frequent. Think Britney Spears level celeb. And all of a sudden, the guy never reuses socks. Socks are now single-use items for him, and he buys them by the hundreds. Act poor to seem relatable. Cough cough Shane Dawson. I know someone who owns a multi-million-dollar company. He tells his employees he grew up on the wrong side of the tracks. He grew up in a very wealthy suburb of a large city and his father was an orthopedic surgeon. I know of a person like that. Just opened his own brewery. Blazing like nobody gave me a chance, man. His key investor is his father, who runs an oil company. But I mean, I'm sure it was a small investment or loan, maybe like $1 million or something trivial. A small loan of $1 million. Try to be relatable to regular people on social media. Like, remember when celebrities were struggling just as much as everyone during COVID in their multi-million-dollar homes? Yeah, they can fuck themselves. I wish I had a pool, a gym, a sauna, a theater, walking trails, low-density neighborhood with places to walk, multiple sports cars to take out, and people that will cater everything I need. Say that we're all on the same boat. Nope. We definitely aren't. Yeah, we're all floating down shit creek, but we're in sinking inflatable rafts while they are on their yachts plated with gold. Get away with things because they have money for better lawyers / bail / payout, etc. Lack perspective. The advice they give, just borrow money from your parents, go back to school, often shows that they have no idea how so many people live. I would never work for someone else. That's why I pulled myself up by the bootstraps and started my own business. Conveniently forgets to mention the small $6 million loan from their parents, and the exclusive business contacts and networking they got thanks to their uncle. Poor people should just pull themselves up by their bootstraps and borrow $10 million from their parents, invest it, and live off the dividends. Too much work, just stop being poor. Went to a financial talk at our church. We were newly married and wanted to make sure we were on track. The advice? Move into your parents' house and save for at least 3 to 5 years. You should be set from there. Oh really? None of our parents had homes we could share, and I'm pretty sure none of them volunteered to have us come home. Found out afterward both parts of the couple giving the advice were trust fund kids. Literally handed houses / down payments after saving by living with them. Give me a effing break. My friend's grandparents paid for his wedding and gave him a large down payment for a house. His parents also paid for his degree. He's like, why doesn't everyone own a house by their 30s? I'm like, really? I worked at a startup with a multimillionaire founder who hired his son. He spent about 30 minutes explaining how squalid his college dorm was, and how I could never understand the true poverty he had lived in during college. I just sat and nodded and smiled. I grew up in a crumbling trailer with holes in the floor, a collapsing popcorn roof, and no car or refrigerator, until I was 18 and got the hell out. Honestly, even explaining it would be effing pointless, he was so detached from reality. No one lives like that, you're just exaggerating. You probably misremember your own childhood. What my entitled friends would say. I don't understand why poor people don't just get a loan from a bank and start their own bank like my grandpa did. Actual quote from a trust fund baby I know. Assume they are intelligent. Assume that being wealthy somehow makes them objectively better. I've found this is always the case with the ones who assume they are smart by default. I've seen plenty of non-wealthy people make the same mistake and put rich people on a pedestal. Being rich usually just means that either you got lucky or got an inheritance or you are good at one really specific thing. I see this a lot with Elon Musk. He's got a weird cult following. This my friend thinks poor equals dumb, rich equals smart. If you have money, it's not possible for you to be wrong about something. All the children of rich people were really smart picking them as parents. My relatives are fairly well off. I don't know what it is about them, but they have a notorious habit of bossing people around. My aunt, who I am very close with, straight up told me to go out and start a walking dogs business out of nowhere, and that when she sees me again, I better have a walking dog business. What? This is the way they function, and when you stand up to them you get told you're lazy, don't care, etc. Just for clarity, I'm looking for work. Her method wouldn't work for where I live. It's nowhere near practical. Even if it was, it's extremely bossy. But I live in the middle of nowhere, and there aren't any. Blah blah blah, excuses. Then just move to where there are dog owners, like San Francisco or Los Angeles. I'm sure there are lots of dog owners there. You have to be willing to hustle. Fake philosophies like we're in this together, first to arrive, last to leave, etc. I'm the first in the office, and the last to leave. No, the janitor is. Shut up. I see rich and or religious posts just paying it forward on social media. I hate that term. It's for people who want to blow trumpets about their charitable nature. Use their money and power to make laws and policies to enrich themselves even more, all while keeping the rest of us fighting among ourselves for the scrapes. Failing to recognize the extent to which luck, including luck of birth, played into their success. Also, failing to recognize how much others helped them to get where they are now. Bid higher than me on the house I want to buy. Assume they deserve and earned everything they have and that consequently, poor people just aren't working hard enough. Even if a person legitimately built their own wealth and jumped socioeconomic status on their own, they're still engaging in survivor bias. Lots of poor people work very hard and take on a lot of misery in service of a better life. And a lot of those people stay poor forever and never get their break. Hard work buys you the lotto ticket. Luck gets you success after that. Not pay taxes and travel to space. Employ others for low pay and bad benefits in an unsafe working environment and think they're doing the people they employ a favor. Then conservatives say if you don't like it, go somewhere else, when asking for higher pay. And then get mad when workers actually go somewhere else. Yeah, funny how much outrage there is now that people are declining to work at low-paid, unpleasant jobs which involve getting regularly abused by the public. I guess they didn't expect the then go somewhere else to be taken seriously. Build billion-dollar rocket ships while their employees pee in bottles. Spoiler, the rocket ship is propelled by piss bottles. Sorry, I'll try to stop doing that. Move to low cost of living places and then drive up the cost of living for locals, who then can't afford to live in their hometown. Thanks for ruining Bozeman, you dickheads. Read the first sentence and immediately went oh, like Bozeman. Then I read the second sentence. Beautifully said. Say that I need to work harder to be rich too. Like Bish. Oftentimes, poor people work harder than rich people ever did in their lives. The difference is one person had luck and opportunity to be able to go from. Act like they're self-made when they grew up affluent. You mean like Gwyneth Paltrow? And Kylie Jenner? Buy multiple houses, save some for the rest of us, damn it. This is a huge problem in Florida that's ruining the housing market for locals here. They keep building neighborhoods and rich people keep buying them up to rent or even Airbnb them out. I'll be lucky if I can nab a house by 40. Consume so much, and do things like travel via air, own huge yachts, waste things and in general wreck our environment without seeming to care or make an effort to reduce the damage they are doing personally or to tackle the problem in any way. I work with some very wealthy people and the amount of traveling and buying stuff and filling their yachts with fossil fuels is depressing to me. This is what's so depressing to me. I can be zero waste and deprive myself of convenience for my entire life, with my entire family, yet that difference is negligible to how much waste a single rich person can produce in a single day of partying.